Hello, my students. How are you today? Today in math class for third grade, we will talk about decimals. Okay, to know about decimals, look at here, please. Here we have circle divided into 10 equal parts. How many colored parts are there? We have 3 colored parts. Out of how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 3 colored parts out of 10 total parts. How we can read this fraction? We have 3 parts out of 10 parts. 3 tenths. 3 أجزاء من العشرة. 3 tenths. Okay, here. How many colored parts? We have only 1 colored part out of 10 total parts. 1 out of 10. How we can read this fraction? 1/10. جزء واحد من العشرة. We can write this fraction as decimal. نستطيع كتابة هذا الكسر ككسر عشري. Decimal. Decimal number has decimal point. Again, decimal point. فاصلة عشرية. To write this fraction as decimal, at the first put decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. Then, how many tenths here? We have 3 tenths. Write 3 after decimal point. We can read this decimal 3 tenths. 3 أجزاء من العشرة. Here. We can write this fraction as decimal. At the first, put decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. Decimal point. After decimal point, how many tenths here? We have only 1/10. جزء واحد من العشرة. Write 1. This is 1/10. 1/10. 3 tenths. Okay. Now, open your book at page 64, please. Here, we have only 1 colored part. We can write this as decimal. We have 1/10. 1/10. جزء واحد من العشرة. At the first, put decimal point. Then write 1/10. How we can read this? 1/10. Here. How many colored parts here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 colored parts. So, here we have 7 out of 10. We can read this 7 tenths. We can write this as decimal. At the first put decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. After decimal point, write how many tenths are there. We have 7 tenths. 7 tenths. Here we have 9 colored parts out of 10. We can write as decimal. Put decimal point, then put 9 colored parts. 9 tenths. Here. How many colored parts? We have 5 out of 10. So we have 5 tenths. 5 أجزاء من العشرة. How we can read as decimal? Put decimal point, then write 5 tenths. Here we have 6 colored parts out of 10. 6 أجزاء من العشرة. 6 tenths. At the first, put decimal point, then write 6 tenths. Here. How many colored parts? Here we have. How many colored parts are there? We have 8 colored parts are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 10. We can write this as decimal. Put at the first decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. After that, how many colored parts here? We have 8. Write 8. How we can read this? 8 tenths. Okay, here. How many colored parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. Out of 10 total parts, we can write this as decimal. At the first, put decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. After decimal point, how many colored parts here? We have 5. put 5. How we can read this? 5/10. Okay, here. How many colored parts? 1, 2, 3. 3 out of how many total parts? 3 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 3 out of 10. How we can write as decimal? At the first put decimal point. ضع الفاصلة العشرية. After that, after decimal point, how many colored parts? 3. Put 3. 3/10. 3 أجزاء من العشرة. The last one we have how many colored parts here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 we can write as decimal at the first. Put decimal point. After decimal point, put colored parts. How many colored parts here? We have 7. Put after decimal point بعد الفاصلة العشرية 7 parts. 7 أجزاء من العشرة. This is 7/10. Again, 7/10. Thank you, my students.